Hey everybody, it's Mike and Denise. Denise just found an article for us to read. We're out on our walk on Sunday, which you should be doing too. Don't sit and read the paper. Don't sit and be on your computer or your phone or watch your screens, television. Okay, what is this one about?
So this is from Bon Appetit magazine. It's titled How Healthy Are Fake Meats and Like Impossible. Sorry, I'm not reading this right. How healthy are fake meats like Impossible and Beyond, really? So keep in mind, this is not a vegan or vegetarian magazine. This is Bon Appetit. They usually feature meat, so they're probably
And are they really concerned about health anyway?
No, they're not concerned about health. They're more concerned about taste.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. They might say some really bad things. And you probably, if you've been following our channel, you're probably already aware that we're more health focused. So
We are. And look, wait, we got to be walking focused here. Look at this. There's supposed to be a bridge here. There's not. This is not really a bridge. We have to hop across these little things here. Look.
Stepping stones.
What if we miss?
You fall in and drown and 6 into the water.
Okay. Gotta be careful.
I've got glasses on that warp the distance to the ground.
You could take them off.
I've only got one hand. I might drop them in the river.
All right. We're back.
So just to be clear, we view these meats as an occasional treat or as a transition product. We don't recommend eating Impossible burgers every day.
It's really something just to keep your taste buds being okay while you're transitioning.
Yeah.
That's basically it, I think.
So, we fed beef lovers a Whopper with no beef, says the silky voice over in a Burger King commercial promoting the Impossible Whopper. When the ad aired in 2019, the brand had just released the burger in over 7,000 stores across the U.S. In a clip, a man in a checkered shirt and a rancher's hat tucks in. It turns out these beef lovers love plants too, the voice continues.
Ooh.
Cut scene back to the cowboy who just found out that his burger contains no cow. Well, I'm a damn fool, he drawls, smirking at an off-camera interviewer. Then a glamour shot of the vegan patty sandwiched between two buns looking glossy, delicious, and a heck load like beef. Burger King isn't the only fast food chain jumping on the fake meat bandwagon. See, they call it fake meat.
It is. I call them fake meats too. I say, yeah. Whenever I talk about stuff in the grocery store, I say there's the fake cheeses, fake ice creams, fake meats.
I call them faux meats.
Okay, whatever. Butters.
So, KFC, White Castle, TGI Fridays, Del Taco, McDonald's, and more are adding meat alternatives to their menus. And let's not forget Impossible Foods, Beyond Meat, and the other faux meats that Americans can now readily find in the grocery aisle.
The other white meat.
A whopping 41% of us have tried them, and alternative meat could be worth $140 billion, or 10% of the meat market by the end of the decade.
When was this written? A year ago? Or less than a year ago?
It was just released this month.
Oh, this month. Okay, never mind. 2023.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unlike vegan proteins of the past, the seitan crumbles, black bean burgers, and tofu dogs that peaceful and loving baby boomers ate in the 70s, the fake meats of today are decidedly more prolific thanks to a winning combo deal. Big tech cash and meat flavor mimicry, mass existential dread about the climate, and some very clever marketing.
Oh, so we don't get lost. I've never been on this road, this trail before. I think we started out up here. We crossed the river up here, and now we're here. Yeah, so we want to keep going down. We're going to go down this way through here while we talk, read the article.
Concern for our well-being is one of the biggest drivers in fake meat sales. Many of us think we're healthier without having any real proof of that. The term plant-based conveys a health halo.
Yeah, and let me also mention, okay, as our reviewing comment on this article, there's been a lot of ex-vegans recently, and I do believe it's because they think they were promised some kind of improved health which was never delivered to them, and they actually feel better when they eat animal products because they're malnourished, eating vegan junk food.
That's it. Says Lisa Zimberoff, an investigative journalist and the author of Technically Food. Even though, depending on the burger, it could be ultra processed and full of ingredients like fillers and additives, she explains.
Like they all are, really. Unless it's straight black beans, which nobody wants to eat that anymore.
Right. Part of this perception that fake meats are healthier is formed in direct contrast to beef, which has been demonized as harmful to health and bad for the environment. Well, it is, says Amy Bentley, PhD, a professor of food studies
Demonized!
at New York University. And the other part, she says, is by association. Products that are pitched as ethical or climate conscious might be automatically considered nutritious too. It's easy to see why. Impossible's website features an image of a cracked open, fresh-looking coconut to represent the oil in its ingredients list.
Coconut oil is like the worst oil you can get.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's very high in saturated fat.
And Beyond's Instagram
all
account
oils are bad. All
is peppered with celebrity endorsements highlighting its product's nutrition facts, like the high protein content alongside strong, better for the planet claims. There's no doubt fake meats are on the rise. Big meat is mad as hell about it. And omnivores, like me, are pleasantly surprised by the taste and texture of these products. But what are they actually made from? And how healthy is fake meat anyway? What are alternative meats made of? Today you can buy fake bacon to layer onto your favorite BLT, vegan chicken nuggets to bake up on game day, ground, well, not beef, to fry up into picadillo or sloppy joes, and burgers and sausages galore.
Sounds like oil and salt to me, an overload of oil and salt.
Virtually all of them contain pea, soy, or wheat protein, usually listed as an isolate.
Yeah, the isolates. That's supposedly what causes cancer, the isolates. And inflammation. I'll talk about that, because the protein powders, it's the same thing as eating protein. It's like a flavored protein powder, if you think about it that way, right?
Yeah, is that like taking a vitamin?
Yeah, well, it's an isolate. I mean, that's the problem with protein powders in general, is that they're an isolate form of the protein, so it causes your body to react weird, potentially cancer, and also it causes inflammation. So
that's what
not
makes
normal.
That's what makes up the solid physical structure of the food.
Yeah.
So this was said by John Copeland, PhD, a professor of food science at Penn State.
It's like a twist on protein powder in a fake meat, faux meat form.
I didn't even know food science was a major in
universities. It's been for a long time. Think of Hungry Man dinners.
That wasn't there in the 80s.
Yes,
when
that's
you
when
and
they
I
started.
were going to college, that was not there.
Yes,
science was not on the menu.
Wait.
Not at Penn State.
Okay, well, I will tell you that food scientists have been around as long as I can remember, and I was born in 1970. So
me too.
Yeah, so the food scientists have been around for a while. This is like their latest accomplishment, I guess, in science.
So the burgers and faux meats usually contain fat, which helps mimic...
Contain fat? Yeah. Wait. They don't just contain fat. They add it because they want your taste buds to feel the same feeling, mouth feel and taste buds, as the real meat, which is loaded with fat. So this stuff is all loaded with fat.
Yeah, that's what helps make the meat soft and juicy texture.
Yeah.
Many include refined coconut oil, which has been chemically deodorized to remove its scent and flavor and tends to stay firm, like animal fat at room temperature.
Deodorized, man.
Yeah, they get
Are those burgers deodorized?
Some sort of gum or thickener adds springy, chewy texture, binds the ingredients together, and Copeland suspects stops water seeping out before or during cooking.
Oh, okay. Otherwise it would be oozing something out of it, and it would look gross.
Yeah.
Which that's probably all the old school stuff was like that. That's why nobody liked it, I think, right?
Yeah, that's why some of the vegan frostings melt so quickly, because they don't
ooze.
have animal fat in them.
Yeah.
In the ingredients list, you might also see methyl cellulose, sometimes called maple fiber, which Zimberoff discovered is mostly derived from tree cellulose. It's also a common ingredient in laxatives and whipped cream. Modified food starch is used in some recipes, which is made physically, enzymatically, or chemically altering starch derived most often from corn, wheat, potato, or tapioca. Meat gets its unique umami flavor during the cooking process.
Unique what?
Umami. Umami flavor.
Is that meat and regular animal meat?
Animal muscle during the cooking
Okay,
process.
I see. It's like a French cooking term that I'm not familiar with because I don't really cook anything.
Yeah. It's a series of chemical reactions in the muscle.
Yeah, animal muscle. But I never used to like it. Who wants to eat animal muscle? If you have a choice to eat that or something else, it doesn't make any sense.
Not me. It's known as the Maillard reaction. This is what creates the browned exterior on, say, a seared steak. Fake meat simulates some of the process. A cooked Impossible burger tastes and looks seriously different to its flaccid, lumpy, raw state, as they also contain some required sugars and proteins. But because the chemical composition isn't the same as regular meat, the flavors generated won't be the same, says Copeland. To mimic animal protein more closely, fake meats feature natural or artificial flavors, which are mixtures of compounds that together give a meaty taste. Many use yeast extract as a flavor enhancer since it's similar to monosodium glutamate or MSG. Salt, as you might expect, is a key ingredient because it makes literally everything it touches taste better.
No. I've never thought that. I even mentioned it on a radio interview, Lillian McDermott show I did. That'll air in a couple days. But I said, I never used to like that either. In addition to not eating the animal muscle, I never like to add salt to foods. I always preferred it without the salt. I don't understand why people like that.
I think a little salt enhances flavor.
Well, the plants, P-L-A-N-T, plants already have salt in them.
Yeah.
The sodium in the form that your body can use, not in the crushed rock form. I talk about that in my book.
But the Impossible burger made with the soy protein isolate doesn't contain any natural sodium.
Yes, it does. Well, you're right. If the soy part may not contain any, if it's isolated and they pull all the sodium out, I don't know if they can do that or not. But all plants contain sodium in their whole form. If you're just cutting them, you're still going to get it.
Yeah. Some brands like Impossible and Beyond also add a bunch of vitamins and minerals, zinc, niacin, and B vitamins, for example, to try and replicate those found naturally in beef. Impossible is also famous for using a heme, an iron-rich molecule made...
They use heme iron? That's bad for your health.
It's an iron-rich molecule made by fermenting modified yeast, which is also the ingredient responsible for helping their burgers bleed and taste like real meat. So how are they produced? I don't think it would be much more than combining the ingredients to form a sort of dough, says Copeland. Imagining a giant KitchenAid behind this venture-backed, tech-driven companies made me laugh. But actually, the good doctor is pretty much spot on. Usually...
We have to do another water crossing here.
Oh boy.
So, there we go. This one isn't as long.
7 stepping stones. They're closer together.
Yeah.
Usually, each ingredient is added to an enormous mixer, which turns them together into sort of blush pink fake meat putty. From there, the process is pretty similar to that of regular meat factory. Those clumps are shaped into nuggets or burger patties or sausages or bricks of ground beef, quote unquote, then frozen, packaged, and shipped to you in a grocery store or fast food restaurant near you. What are the health benefits of fake meats?
Health benefits? I didn't know that word. Well, actually, there's one that you talked about. One, I can think of. I don't know what they're going to say, but I'm going to say lack of cholesterol. That is the only benefit, because everything else is the same or worse, or you get new negatives in there.
Many of the new fake meats, the ones made typically with pea or soy, are rich sources of protein in the amino acid lysine, which most plant foods lack, alongside from legumes. Taylor Wolfren, MS, RDN, LDN, registered dietitian specializing in veganism, says.
Registered dietitian. They learned all the wrong information. What did they say?
While most plant-based meat alternatives contain protein, Beyond and Impossible are most comparable in quality to the foods they're trying to imitate. Registered dietitian and intuitive eating counselor.
That's why they taste the same.
Kara
Similar.
Leiden, RD, LDN, RYT.
Lots of designations, yeah, from the sick care industry.
Most fake meats are also higher in fiber than real meat, she says, because real meat doesn't have any fiber.
Right, that's right. Okay, so fiber and cholesterol, that's standard with anything, I guess. Yeah.
Therefore, combined with protein, tend to keep you fuller for longer. And many alternatives also contain very little saturated fat, which is...
What about the coconut oil?
Well, maybe they don't use much of it.
In some of them.
It's often a nutrient of concern for those trying to limit red meat intake, the saturated fat. Fake meats also could be a gateway to eating more vegetables.
Oh my gosh, gateway drug.
About 95% of Americans aren't eating the recommended amount of fiber, and fake meats.
They're saying it too, 95%.
Yes,
that's huge.
Fake meats have brought up the conversation.
Hey, wait, they mentioned Americans. This is a French magazine. They're like, oh, the French, we're doing it fine, right? No, I don't feel like they're not. They're probably like 85% of French don't get enough.
Is Bon Appetit published in the United States?
I don't know. This sounded like a French thing in the beginning.
A fake meat patty can satisfy omnivores looking for that signature taste and texture. This ultimately helps folks stick with
here we go again.
With veganism long term if they're not feeling deprived of their favorite foods.
I don't mean the article. I'm talking about this.
More water.
Yeah.
This is a really cheap bridge.
Yeah, they just couldn't get the funding, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
This one has a nice view up the river there. It's I like all the airplane noise. That's what you get when you're near Dulles Airport, I guess.
So, Wolfman says, for me, avoiding the slaughter of animals mentally and emotionally feels like some kind of health benefit too. I don't know about you, but I've never eaten something delicious and immediately thought afterward, wow, I sure wish this was made out of the flesh of a living being. As New York Times opinion columnist Nicholas Kristof suspects, growing ethical and environmental concerns combined with a heap of tasty alternatives will lead our descendants to eat less meat. And he baffled at our casual acceptance of an industrial agriculture model built on large-scale cruelty. Okay,
that's good.
Yeah, what about the cons? One of the biggest ironies here, many fake meat brands go to town marketing their health benefits while simultaneously trying to replicate the industrialized American diet, which many would agree.
That's the whole idea, I thought, right?
Yeah, but it has not been good to us. I'm talking about burgers, nuggets, sausages, and ground meat, or what Zimbaroff calls the baseball stadium menu. As Michael Pollan has referred to as edible food-like substances.
Food-like products, that's what I call it.
In his 2008 book, In Defense of Food. Just because a burger is made from plants instead of animals doesn't automatically make it healthier for you, Lyndon said. Compared to... sorry, the ads are moving up in my way. Compared to a... Hear that woodpecker.
Yeah.
Compared to a meat-based burger, Beyond and Impossible contain roughly the same amount of saturated fat and more sodium, she says, both of which, when overconsumed, can increase risk of heart disease and stroke. In terms of nutrition labels, most of these seem comparable with the meat foods they are trying to replicate, agrees Copeland, referring primarily to the amount of protein, fat, calories, and sodium in both.
So for the most part, they're saying you won't get nutrient deficient eating this stuff. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, since a lot of them are fortified even with fiber. I didn't know that. It's important, he says, to remember that the point of comparison is a sausage, not a carrot. Yeah, you got to compare it to a sausage, not to something healthy. Another issue with these high-tech fake meats, which Cullen would perhaps argue are more products of science than nature, they're pretty far removed from the whole foods that our ancestors ate. Yeah.
The isolates right there, just the protein isolates we talked about.
Yeah, by isolating ingredients like that methyl cellulose for their nutritional value or function alone, Zimbaroff says, we miss out on the good bits that come from eating the entire food source. Take pea protein. It's chemically extracted from usually yellow field peas, but we don't get any of the magnesium, folate, potassium, or fiber that's built into the actual pea. Likewise, when oils are refined and deodorized to the form found
you
in
gotta
many
be
fake
deodorized.
meats. Yeah, you don't
I
want
want with those smelly oils in
your
there.
burger shouldn't smell like fragrant coconut.
Yeah, well, they could be reused oils. They do that in restaurants. They constantly reuse their oils over and over again. Then I guess they deodorize them.
I hope not.
And then use them again.
They can't be in the oil that someone fried their chicken
Yeah,
nuggets
they
in.
do. Yeah,
Well, impossible it doesn't, but
Well,
yeah.
who knows? They might. That might be their secret ingredient. That's the way they get the animal flesh taste.
I don't think they make real chicken nuggets, so they wouldn't have that oil.
They
available
just
to
buy it
them.
secondhand or take it off some restaurant's hands, something like that. I don't know.
Right. They're also stripped of a bunch of trace elements, which are the minerals present in living tissues, like the real peas. I kind of equate it to drinking athletic greens or immersion C versus eating a salad or an orange. There's just some stuff you're not getting. I got a caveat here. Health and nutrition are both imperfect sciences and extremely personal. Whether something is good for you is entirely up to you. Many people have many opinions about
Good for
how,
you meaning taste buds?
Yeah,
Is that what they're
good,
saying?
quote, and is in air
Okay,
quotes.
that's taste buds. That's
Yeah.
taste bud preference. That's what they're talking about.
Many people have many opinions about how we should be living our lives, but if you want to eat a veggie burger simply because it's very delicious, or you love Mother Earth, you go do that. Bentley is also quick to explain that
Here we
not
go
all
again, another river
industrial
crossing.
produced food is bad.
All right, hold on. We got to cross the river again. This one, just gonna hold the camera up here.
Waste of time, all these river crossings.
You could just put your feet straight in the water. It's no problem.
I'm losing speed here. Bentley is also quick to explain that not all industrially produced food is bad. In fact, our diets are full of it. Boxes of baby spinach, bags of rice, and canned tomatoes.
Wait, whoa,
Those are all
hold.
processed
Whoa. Let's say that again. Wait, re-say all that.
Boxes of
No,
baby
but
spinach.
before that, when they started categorizing all this stuff, how did they categorize it? Industrially
It
produced?
says industrial produced.
Wait. Spinach, whole spinach is not industrial produced. Whole rice is not. I don't know where they're coming up with this
He
definition.
said boxes. I would think he means frozen. The ones
Say,
you
let's
stick
say
in
again.
freezer.
Can you go back and read word for word? I want to hear what this says. This is how they get people.
This is the third time I'm going to say it. Bentley is also quick to explain that not all industrially produced food is bad.
Okay, hold on. So obviously, industrially produced doesn't mean whole foods or lack of whole foods, but they just got finished saying that the problem is a lack of a whole food. Then they're basically trying to equate industrial with being a lack of a whole food or saying right away that it's not. They're creating confusion where there's no reason to be confused. All you need to know is you don't need to throw in this industrial, say, hey, some of this industrial stuff is good. It has nothing to do with that. It's whole plant or not. Whole spinach is good. Whole rice, especially brown, is good. What else did they throw in there?
Canned tomatoes.
Whole tomatoes are good, okay? I don't care if you slap industrial or not. I know that Denise likes industrial music, but that's another label. It's just a label.
Well, Well, they lose some of their nutrient value after they're picked and canned.
Yeah, but who? I mean, unless you're picking it straight from the plant right here and eating it now, you're gonna have that issue, industrial or not, or however you source your food. That's why it is best to grow it yourself.
All right. He says a lot of it is really well made, and frankly, in today's society, we couldn't get along without the industrial food supply chain.
Okay, so I am not downing the industrial food supply chain. I do think that you should eat whole plants. You should grow them if you can, ideally. But outside of that, industrial, whatever you want to call it, totally fine with me, as long as it's a whole plant, or mostly whole plant. Just cut it and blend it, and that's it.
Yeah. What should I keep in mind when shopping for meat alternatives? Ditch the diet mentally, says Wolfram, and just have fun exploring different options. The most important thing is that you enjoy the beefless burgers and chickenless nuggets that you're eating. If satiety is important to you, Lyndon recommends opting for brands and products that are rich in protein and fiber. And if you're struggling with high blood pressure, you may be more interested in choosing an option with lower sodium, she says. At the end of the day, Lyndon is all about dietary variety and intuition, and recommends her clients include various other plant-based proteins in their meals too, like tofu, tempeh, seitan, and legumes. It's been over a decade since both Impossible Foods and Beyond Meat were founded, though it might earn me a lecture from my rancher parents. I can say with confidence that both taste great. Truly and almost indiscernible. It's truly almost indiscernible from beef, especially when smothered in cheese and ketchup and washed down with cold beer. In many ways, I'm their ideal customer because I enjoy the flavors of meat, but would prefer to avoid the macrobe reality of its production. I'll never get over the crisp bite of a nugget or the salty chew
Never get
of
over.
bacon,
I've been over it.
even if they're made from some miscellaneous protein isolates,
mushrooms,
or starches. And Impossible's finance dude would probably tell you I'm not the only one. That's the end of the article.
All right, so we're almost at the end of the road. You can hear the cars. We got to turn around. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know your comments below. But like I said, to me, I think the takeaway is it's just a transition food for your taste buds. This guy says he'll never get over it. Oh my gosh. You will get over it, okay? Your taste buds will change. You won't want the stuff as much anymore. Eventually you won't want it at all, but you just need to take the first step. Go with the whole foods, minimally processed. This kind of stuff is not just cut it and blended. It's isolates, like they said. It's added fats, added sodiums.
Right. When you get off of the faux meats and start eating more real plants, the real plants will look better to you. Salad looks good to me.
Yeah, and you need high quality produce. High quality, that's the other thing. No one's gonna like low quality produce. Nobody.
No.
All right, that's it. So make sure to subscribe too if you don't subscribe to the channel already. See you in the next video. Bye.